And welcome back. The winter freeze and thaw had not only ruined our roads, but huge chunks of ice also damaged boat marinas. Now a costly fix is underway in a race against the clock for the start of summer. TV 1055's Jennifer McLogan reports from the Great South Bay.
Residents of quaint Bellport Village clambered down to the docks, eager to assess winter damage to its cherished marina.
It's an amazing amount of damage you wouldn't think could be possible by something as innocuous seeming as ice, but it is a real problem.
Wherever there is no movement of water, the ice can adhere to the piling and lift it as the tide goes up and down.
Across Long Island's South Shore, Bay constables and National Park Service rangers snapped photos of docks being swallowed in ice, pilings crusted in 13 feet of frozen water, only now thawing, and that is dislodging and lifting poles right off the sandy bottom, sending them floating away, laying ruin to dozens of bulkheads. Enter the ice eaters. Each contraption costs $567, and Bellport bought 20 of them.
The village put in ice eaters, or we call them bubblers, and they go right along the center of this line, and they just bubble all winter, and it stops the ice from forming.
He says money well spent, saving most, but not all of the marina. So the Suffolk Marine Bureau is here helping?
Yes, they actually came out and I gave them some rope and they tied up the poles, as you can see. When the ice is done and they're free to float, the tide comes up, they pull out of the mud and they drift away. And they're a couple $100 each pole.
And how bad is this just for the whole Great South Bay?
No, it's definitely a navigational hazard. It can sink the boat.
Town and village officials tell us they're working frantically to make sure marinas open next month in time for the Memorial Day weekend. From Sandspit Marina in Patchogue on the Great South Bay, Jennifer McLogan, TV 1055.
And so far, total repair estimates on the island are running higher than $500,000. Well, it's home sweet home for a Queens family forced to live in their yard since Superstorm Sandy hit 2.5 years ago. With the help of hundreds of volunteers, their home is finally repaired. TV 1055's Tracy Carrasco has the story.
It's gorgeous. I didn't expect this.
Coming home never felt so good for Doreen Stack. The single mother of two has been displaced since Superstorm Sandy destroyed her Broad Channel house in October 2012.
And then all of a sudden the water started coming through the floors and two boats hit the back of my house and came straight through the windows. And then the waves just started coming through and the walls started ripping apart.
Without insurance or the money for repairs, Stack lived in an RV on her property with her 18-year-old daughter and 25-year-old son for more than 2 years.
All I kept saying is, what are we going to do? Where are we going to live? This is it. We're done. We're never going to be back in this house. I couldn't afford to rebuild it.
Until today. Work on Stack's home began last October. Nearly 300 volunteers with the nonprofit group Friends of Rockaway spent 6 months drilling, stapling, and sawing. Stack's damaged home was brought back to life with new walls, paint, floors, windows, and finally ready for her to move back in.
To be home, to be into this house with my children again. That's the best feeling ever.
The group has helped 74 other families rebuild after Sandy, but says there's still so much more work to do.
While we're celebrating the completion of this home, we are running 15 other job sites for 15 other families that were affected by Hurricane Sandy.
But for Stack and her family, she's so grateful for this long-awaited homecoming.
I can't even believe that there's people out there that would do something this wonderful.
The organization tells us they still have a waiting list of about 20 families just like Doreen Stack looking for help to rebuild and get back into their homes. Reporting from Broad Channel, Queens, Tracy Carrasco, TV 1055.
And Friends of Rockaway is funded by the St. Bernard Project. The nonprofit group helped build nearly 800 homes after natural disasters in New Orleans and Joplin, Missouri. When we come back, robots taking over the world. Well, not quite, but we'll show you how the next generation is ready to share the world with them.